Good morning, students. Today, let us see OWASP. It is Open Web Application Security Project. It is a non-profit organization focused on software security. Open Web Application Security Project, right? It is an international non-profit organization dedicated to web application security. The major principles is all of their materials be freely available and easily accessible on their website, making it possible for anyone to improve their own web application security. Focusing on the 10 most critical risks, right? So every 3 to 4 years, OWASP revises and publishes its list of the top 10 web application vulnerabilities. Right? Let us see now the top 10 most critical tasks. Right? That is, first one is injection, second one is broken authentication, third one is sensitive data exposure, XML external entities, XXE, broken access control, security misconfiguration, cross-site scripting, insecure deserialization, using components with known vulnerabilities, insufficient logging and monitoring. Let us see one by one now. Now, what is injection? Injection vulnerabilities occur when an attacker uses a query or command to insert untrusted data into the interpreter via SQL, OS, NoSQL, or LDAP injection. Right. So it can be prevented by using safer API which avoids the use of the interpreter. Second one is a broken authentication. It is a vulnerability that allows an attacker to use manual or automatic methods to try to gain control over any account they want in a system. This vulnerability is also most dangerous because websites with broken authentication vulnerabilities are very common on the web. It can be prevented by implementing multi-factor authentication, protecting user credentials, sending passwords over encrypted connections. The third one is sensitive data exposure. So you all know, trying to get all your login credentials about your financial things is that. So it can be prevented by using the secure URLs, using strong and unique passwords, encrypting all sensitive information that needs to be stored. Next is XML external entities. Right, here it happens when poorly configured XML processes evaluate external entity references within the XML documents and send sensitive data to an unauthorized external entity. This attack can be prevented by using less complex data formats such as JSON, keeping XML processors and libraries upgraded. The fifth one is broken access control. Here it means there are some improperly configured missing restriction on authenticated users which allows them to access unauthorized functionality or data like access to others' accounts, confidential documents. It can be prevented by deleting accounts that are no longer needed or not active, shutting down unnecessary services to reduce the burden on servers, then using penetration testing. The sixth one is security misconfiguration. It is estimated that up to 95% of the cloud breaches are the result of human errors, and this fact leads us to the next vulnerability called security misconfiguration. It can be prevented by using dynamic application security testing DAST, disabling the use of default passwords, keeping an eye on cloud resources, applications, and servers. The seventh one is cross-site scripting. This is also a widespread vulnerability that almost affects 53% of all web applications. It can be prevented by using appropriate response headers, filtering the input and encoding the output, using the content security policy, applying a zero trust approach to user input. The eighth one is insecure deserialization. It allows an attacker to remotely execute code in the application, tamper or delete serialized objects, conduct injection attacks, replay attacks, and elevate privileges. It is a serious application security issue that affects most of the modern systems. It can be prevented by implementing digital signatures using penetration testing. Ninth one is using components with known vulnerabilities. So as the name mentions, so using the known vulnerabilities weakness, you try to get the control. It can be prevented by removing all unnecessary dependencies, using virtual patching, using components only from official and verified sources. The last is insufficient logging and monitoring. It is estimated that the time from attack to detection can take up to 200 days and often longer. Right. So here it can be prevented by implementing logging and audit software, establishing an effective monitoring system, thinking like an attacker, and using a pen testing approach. Right. Next, let us see Z, that is ZAP, Z attack proxy. It is used to detect vulnerabilities present on any web server and try to remove them. Here is some big vulnerability that could be present in the web server, like SQL injection, cross-site scripting, broken access control, security misconfiguration, broken authentication, sensitive data exposure, cross-site request forgery using components with known vulnerabilities. Terminologies. Let us see some basic terminologies. Proxy server. It is a server that acts as a mediator for clients who want to go through the request and want to alter them. Spider. It is a type of information gathering process in which the application, in this case ZAP, will go through the whole web page and try to find out all the links and other important details. Passive scan. It is a type of scanning. The vulnerability is detected without getting in direct contact with the target machine. Active scan. In this, the vulnerability is detected by getting in direct contact with the target machine, which makes it very easy to be detected by the administrator. So let us see the working process. So the request will be sent by the browser, will be having ZAP's proxy server, then ZAP's browser where URL scanning will be done, and finally report will be generated. The key concepts and features of ZAP Scanner are active scan, passive scan, OWASP ZAP Fuzzer, OWASP ZAP API, that is application programming interface, WebSocket testing, JAX spidering, scan policy management, ZAP marketplace. Thank you, students.